All right, welcome back. So today we're going to look at section 7.2, solving for a side, okay? So we're just finding missing sides today. So today should be, if you're on track or if I didn't change something to do with this video, the 13th of April. And so we're going to go ahead and assign these two, again, like a Google form intervention. And also the formative that goes along with it. Now, this intervention has multiple parts just because it's built all together. So just doing these two parts, and then you'll do this other part later. Okay? Moving forward. Scrolling past our stuff from before. All right, solving for missing side notes. So first things first, solve both equations. What's different about the process? So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I need to multiply by 12 on both sides to solve so that those cancel. So that x is 36. Cool, so I multiplied and I got the answer. And for this one, in order to solve this, I'm going to use cross multiplication. I'm going to make the 3 over 1 and cross multiply. 3 times x is 3x, and 1 times 12 is 12. So now to solve this, I'm actually dividing by 3 to get that x is 4. Okay, or you could recognize that it's a 4, obviously with nicer numbers here. So really, why can't I zoom out? Really, the difference is that we are either multiplying or dividing. Okay. We multiply when x is in the top and divide when x is in the bottom. Okay, just informal language, little description there. Cool. Moving forward. Again, triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. If we know at least 2 of these 6 parts, we can find all of the others using trig ratios. It's not exactly true. We can find the other sides using trig ratios. We need to use something special but related to find the missing angles. Okay. So steps for solving. First, mark the angle in question. Label the sides, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Pick a trig function. Let's see about that. Set up equation and solve by multiplying, dividing, or doing the inverse. So I'm going to look here, this one. So marking my angle, and then marking the, labeling the sides. So this is the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Remember, adjacent is next to, but not the hypotenuse. Okay, so we have the hypotenuse and adjacent involved. So if I remember SOHCAHTOA, which one of these involves the adjacent hypotenuse? Well, it's the cosine function. So we're going to use cosine to solve. Okay, what that looks like is I'm going to find the cosine of an angle. So usually we'd say like angle L. In this case, I actually have the measured angle. So cosine of 72 degrees is equal to the adjacent 6 over the hypotenuse x. Looks an awful lot like what we just did, right? So now I've got my x in the denominator. Remember what we said to do? We said to divide, okay? And when we did the division up here, what ended up happening was the 12 got divided by the 3. Okay, so the number on top of the x got divided by the other side. So 6 divided by the cosine of 72 degrees should equal x. Okay, you could solve those multiple ways, but once we type that into our calculator, that's what the length of x is. Okay, so I'm actually going to do that. I pulled up the MCA calculator. So here's how I type it in. 6 divided by cosine of, oops, I forgot to check the mode. We are in radians. Oh no, this is going to happen every time. Make sure you're in degrees. Okay, on my own calculator, like I can set it and forget it, but not going to be the case with these calculators. So I'm going to quit, come back here. 6 cosine of 72 degrees gives me 19.4 is the length of x. Okay, so that's how long that side is. Okay. Obviously, if you've got feeder or something going on, then add it in. If not, then just leave it. Okay. So when you have x in the denominator, we are going to divide the numerator by the trig function, right? So we'll have the numerator, so x will equal the numerator divided by the trig part. Is it okay if I just put trig part? I can't ask you that question because you're not here. Okay, good math. But by the trig part, I mean like, I used a color highlighter, like this part goes down here, right? And this part up here, and so on and so forth. However you want to summarize that for yourself, take a moment to do that now. Okay. Again, hyper important, put it in degrees. Cannot stress that enough. On an iPhone or like something like that, the order is different. You have to type 6 divided by 72 cosine equals. Really, I would just say use these as much as possible, or at least the first couple of times you do it on both to make sure you're doing the keystrokes correctly. Okay. All right. And now this one should be even easier. Okay. Same steps. So we're going to mark the angle, label the sides, pick a trig function sub-equation, multiply by. So mark the angle, label the sides, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Okay, wait, I did that right the first time, right? Yes, okay. And now I'm looking for this x. So the numbers I have involved, I've got the hypotenuse and adjacent again. So still gonna be cosine, right? Is the ka portion. So cosine of 73 degrees equals adjacent x over hypotenuse 6. Okay. Now I've got my x in the numerator. I multiply by 6 in order to get my x. Okay. So that is just going to look like this. 6. You can put the multiplication symbol. I'm going to do it just for now, but you don't need it. Cosine of 73 this time. Again, end parentheses okay, but in the way I've written it, I don't really need it. So I get that x is 1.8 for rounding to tenths. Okay. So that's how long that side is. So what we did here is we said, okay, x is equal to the denominator times the trig portion of the equation. Okay. So you can write that all out however you like. Okay. What is the height of the tree? So this is a two-part question. We are going to have two triangles going on. So I'm going to do one in red and one in a different color. So this triangle. Oh, did I mention trig can only be done with right triangles? Oh, yeah. And in this case, we've got our angle. And the side down here is adjacent. And I'm looking for the opposite. Okay. Let's call that x. So adjacent and opposite, that's going to be tangent. So tangent of 42 degrees. Tangent is TOA, it's opposite over adjacent. So x over 20. Okay. And I'm just going to set up the other one as well. So here, now I've got this right triangle. And in this case, this is also adjacent and this is also opposite. So we've got tangent again. Tangent of 31 degrees equals opposite y over adjacent 20. Okay, so then in the end, what I'm going to do is add x plus y together to get my answer. All right. Okay, so in both of these cases, x is in the numerator, so I'm multiplying. So 20 times tangent of 42. 20 tangent of 42 equals 18. Okay, and 18 plus, same thing, 20 times tangent of 31. Degrees, say 12. So my final answer is 30 feet. That's how tall the tree is. All right, and then we'll talk about missing angles later in the week. So again, your assignment is to do the Google form, these two parts, okay, and also those 4 randomized questions. All right, miss you. Bye.